new investigation sheds light on why Michael Brown's body lay in a Ferguson, Missouri street for 4 hours after a policeman killed him. Records obtained by the St. Louis Post-Dispatch newspaper show Brown was shot about 2 minutes past noon on August 9th. County detectives were called in about 12:30, but by chance, they were 30 miles away investigating a robbery. The first detective didn't arrive until an hour and a half after the shooting, but an angry crowd had been gathering all along. A hearse came to pick up the body at 2:30, but by then it was too dangerous. After a SWAT team came in at 3:20, Brown's body was finally removed around 4 p.m. A spokesman for the St. Louis County Police tells CNN the paper's timeline is in fact accurate. Joining us now, the NAACP board member John Gaskin, the Missouri State Senator Maria Chappelle-Nadal, and our law enforcement analyst Tom Fuentes is still with us, former assistant director of the FBI. So John, what do you make of this? I know the NAACP is very upset about this 4 hours in which that body was allowed to remain on that street.
Well, Mr. Blitzer, literally hours after the shooting, we spoke with St. Louis County Police Chief John Belmer, and we were very concerned because from what we understand, the body did lay there a number of hours. We were told that in this type of situation, you only have one chance to comb that area and to get all the evidence that you need, that the grand jury would potentially need, and we understand that. But here's the other side of this that we want to take a look at. You're looking at an unarmed teenager, a black man that was killed in an African-American area by a Caucasian cop. You've got an area that was very upset. This is already a very sensitive situation where you have people that got very angry about this. You would think that local law enforcement would be as sensitive as possible, would get that body covered up, get the information that they need, and to try to get his body up off of the street to treat him with the respect and the dignity that he deserved.
Maria Chappelle-Nadal, what do you make of this timeline?
Well, I have to tell you, I read the same article as you did, Wolf, and I have to tell you that I do concur with John. The community was outraged by looking at this body all day long. There is video streamed that I saw from young people's cell phones, and the psychological impact of looking at a body and the blood around the body for hours long is very disturbing to this community. And this is a community that has a lot of young people, and they saw themselves as Mike Brown on this day. So I am concerned. The second part of that article that we are referring to right now also discussed what other officers throughout the nation felt. And there are some legitimate concerns that everyone has at this point.
What do you make, Tom? Because you've been involved in law enforcement your whole public professional career. Are there legitimate reasons why law enforcement would leave that body on the street for 4 hours?
Yes, there absolutely are, Wolf. And you know, if you recall back to the shootings at Sandy Hook and Aurora, Colorado movie theater, some bodies were left almost 24 hours as the police did their work. So the difference was the public couldn't see them, the family members could not see them to get even more emotionally involved. In this case, yes, you have the body laying in the street. It's a shame that the police were not in a position to somehow, put a screen around it, but you have a pretty large crime scene. You have from the car, the police car, the pursuit of Michael Brown down the street, the place of the shooting, the bullet casings that would be ejecting from the officer's gun. So you have a pretty large area that really can't be easily concealed. And the difficulty of covering the body is that hairs and fibers matter. It's going to matter what they can take off of Michael Brown's body and clothing to prove or disprove what occurred at the police car. Does he have the officer's DNA, skin, hair, fiber from his uniform on him? And if you start tampering with the body, that can really disrupt the crime scene. So it looks terrible, and it's very, in a way it is totally insensitive that Michael Brown's body had to lay there. But on the other hand, to do a thorough investigation, it almost couldn't have been different.
The argument the police make, John and Maria, is that you don't want to tamper potentially with evidence if in fact a crime had been committed. John, what's your reaction to that?
Well, and I can understand completely where you're coming from a law enforcement standpoint. We want to do everyone a positive service and get justice for the Brown family, obviously. We understand that. But if you read the article, you hear that a lot of people were very angry. We were even receiving video messages, as Maria just alluded to, One thing I think that really is a bigger problem in this situation is communication. That could have easily been communicated to the young people that were standing around this crime scene. Hey, we want to help you all out. We want to get all of the information, all of the evidence necessary to bring justice to this situation. Could you all please back away? Let us do our job, and we're going to, try to expedite this as much as possible. But from what I understand and what I read in that article, none of that was ever communicated. I know that at one point, Ms. McSpadden went out there to try to get people calm and to get them to come, move away and try to back away from what was going on. But that could have easily been communicated to those young people that had just witnessed such a traumatic experience.
Because it looked insensitive, even as Tom Fuentes points out, there are very often legitimate law enforcement reasons to not tamper with an area of a potential crime scene like that. But very strong article in the St. Louis Post-Dispatch. Guys, thanks very much. John Gaskin, Maria Chappelle-Nadal, Tom Fuentes.